Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the only Male Cruise. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Let's go to work. All right. Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the only Male Cruise. Thanks y'all for pulling up. I just popped on real quick. Shout out to Kitty Queen. Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate y'all. I just popped on real quick because it's in the news. We're hip to the square. And we know that a YouTuber has been arrested. Oh my goodness, y'all. And these are not, this is not this ain't no punk type of charge. You understand what I'm saying? But yes, innocent until proven guilty. That's how it goes. That's how the justice system is supposed to work. So we gonna work right with it. But, so I found out earlier today, and, I just didn't have time until now to actually come live about it. So most of y'all might already be aware of the circumstances. This particular YouTuber, I don't know who it is. I don't know them. But clearly he's pretty popular. And wow, it's just so interesting. So let me see here. Check this. All right, and let me see here. Anita Anderson, thanks for pulling up. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Replay gang, you know what's up. Leave a comment because I want to hear from you. So I ain't going to drag it out, y'all. We're going to get right to it. All right, now I will tell you this. I did get a chance to see one of the videos that they're talking about, but I think the government must have taken down the video that had the inflammatory video. But on October 4th of last year, in the Eastern District of New York, this YouTuber, and according to the affidavit, this complaint support application, Christopher Dunn knowingly and intentionally transmitted in interstate and foreign commerce communications containing threats to injure the person of another, to wit, threats that would result in the death or seriously bodily injury of Jane Doe 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you know who this YouTuber is and you were live and you saw it and you hip to it, please tell me, put it in the comments, drop the link so we can talk about it, because I looked for the video and I didn't find it. So, of course, the special agent on the case, of course, he had to give his extra narrative, talking about his experience and, how long he'd been in the game. And he's been with this, Homeland Security since 2017. He's also stating that what's contained inside this complaint or this affidavit is only parts of it, not the entirety of it. It says, because of the purpose of this complaint is set forth only those facts necessary to establish probable cause to arrest. I have not described all the relevant facts and circumstances of which I'm aware. Y'all, this is scary. You know what I'm saying? It's scary to me because my goodness. But the way they're describing the behavior, anyway, so situation broke with where I found out was Jason Meisner on Twitter, and he actually tweeted breaking news, superfan, which that is such an interesting name. Superfan Christopher DeBoski Gunn has been arrested in Chicago on federal charges alleging he threatened victims of the singer's trial and promised to storm the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York. Do y'all think he was serious? Please put something in the chat and tell me, do you think he was serious, or was this YouTuber just, just trying to, get some views, get a click and a view? Okay. I said, what do y'all think? And apparently, allegedly, uh, it was stated if Kels goes down, everybody's going down. Uh, mm, mm, mm. And then on the last tweet, it says Christopher Gunn was ordered held in custody pending a detention hearing on Wednesday, aka the same day Kels is supposed to be tried. So he might bump into Kels. I don't know. Prosecutors will be asking that he remain in custody and brought to New York to face the charges. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot behind some YouTube. That is a whole hell of a lot. Linda Alexander, shout out. Thanks for pulling up, y'all. So back to the subject at hand. Now, we know why Kels is in a predicament that he's in right now. We know those charges and stuff that he's facing. So I'm going to avoid reading all of that. However, it says here that the defendant, Christopher Gunn, who is a resident of blank blank, on the internet, Gunn uses the alias Dubosky Gunn and Dubosky to post content to various social media accounts. And as of last September 2021, the defendant, Christopher Gunn, was aware of the federal investigation and prosecution of Kels and discussed that investigation and prosecution in various social media content. On September 3rd, 2021, records show, coming out of New York, that Gunn signed in to the overflow courtroom so that he could view the trial of R. Kelly. Let's see here. And then on or about October 4th, the defendant narrated a video titled Get Real Familiar. Now, this agent goes on to say that this video, which was live streamed on YouTube on the Dubosky Gunn YouTube account, which belongs to Gunn, the video features a male voice. The male voice, who for the reasons stated below, I have identified as Gunn, related to the following message. It states, I want y'all to get real familiar with this building I'm about to pull up and show to you. I'm going to show you exactly where we're going to be going. And we're going to get real familiar with this building. And this building is going to get real familiar with the Enterprise, also known as Kels Steppers. We know who's going to stick to everything that I told you, which is that if Kels goes down, everybody's going down. Now, y'all know this sounds like some kid in play. This don't sound like. Do y'all think this man was serious? I've not watched the man's channel, so I ain't hip to the square. I don't know. Shout out to Jason Finch. Jason, I love how no matter what chat you in, you say the same thing. What about Rashonda LaFair? I don't know, Jason. We about to find out though. Linda Alexander said, hi everyone, trying to charge Kels with this. Kel don't know him. No, I don't think they're trying to even charge Kels with this, but it is interesting that they waited until 2 days before Kel's hearing to actually take this action. Y'all been knowing about it. You've been heard about it. And what I want to know is, how did they find out about that? Did somebody report this guy? You know what I'm saying? Juicy Love said he did stay storm. He was talking about doing a protest and at the Fed building, and he wanted to talk to the prosecutor. Never threaten nobody, and 30 rounds means 30 rounds of stigma. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. This is interesting. Now, the agent goes on and says, I believe that the reference to Kels is a reference to Kelly. Approximately 2 minutes into the video, the defendant states in sum and substance and in part and in relevant part, you see this building right here? That building is located right outside the courthouse where R. Kelly was being prosecuted. It's the first building on the corner. That is the United States Federal Prosecution Office. Gunn then displays a photograph of a location on Cadman Plaza East in Brooklyn, New York. which the agent says he knows that to be the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. A Google search box which reads U.S. Attorney Eastern District New York Office is displayed in the video above the photograph. In the video, while the photograph is on the screen, the defendant states in sum and substance and in relevant part, that's where they at. That's where they work at. We're going to storm their office. We're going to storm their office. We're going to storm Jane Doe 1, 2, and 3. We're going to storm their office. The defendant further states, if you ain't got the stomach for this ish we about to do, I'm asking that you just bail out. Shortly after, the defendant shares a video containing a scene from the 1991 crime drama movie Boys in the Hood. In the scene, 4 males ride in a vehicle. One of the males begins to load a firearm, and one of the males asks to be let out of the vehicle. The sound of a gunshot being fired can be heard. It sounds like some creative content. It sounds like he was just trying to be real creative with his content, y'all. People trying to mess up Kel's case. I hate this mess. Yeah, I hate it too. Yeah, we don't need no extra stories around this Kel's thing right now. PDQ YTF says he was referring to the parents and accusers as everybody. We all know that. Yep. Yeah. Kells goes down. Everybody goes down, meaning all those who was around. Kells, bus drivers, parents, security. Yeah. He probably meaning, everybody need to be up in court. Let me see here. Please, Lord, they need to stop this. Yeah, this does need to stop. He never threatened nobody. Come through. And if they on it like this, can y'all imagine what that trial's going to be like in Illinois, up in Chicago in a minute? Individual 1, whose identity is known to me and who has known the defendant for several years, has received the video and identified the male voice as Gunn. Oh, man, the government cutting deals already? In addition, I have reviewed the video and other publicly available social media postings made by Gunn, and Gunn's voice is captured in other publicly available social media video postings. Closely resembles the male voice captured in the video. Additionally, the video depicts a profile photograph of Gunn and the Dubowski Gunn username, which Gunn has publicly identified as his own. Furthermore, law enforcement analysis of Gunn's social media accounts have identified information which I believe, based on my training, experience, and participation in this investigation, to be a reference to Gunn's affiliation with the Kells case. For example, on or about April 15th, 2022, Gunn narrated a YouTube live video titled R. Kelly Propaganda Part 46, Who is Ann Donnelly and What's Up with Nature Boy Cash Out? The video includes the hashtags Free R. Kelly, Ann Donnelly, Kells Steppas. I believe that Ann Donnelly and Ann Donnelly to be the references to our favorite judge, the one who presided over Kells' case. On or about June 24th of this year, the defendant posted the following message on his Dubowski Gun YouTube account. The Enterprise, hashtag the Enterprise. I have a spot for all to link during this trial. During the trial, see you there. A YouTuber's comments says, cool, free R. Kelly. And another comments in sum and in substance and in part, man, please free Robert Sylvester Kelly, aka R. Kelly. Based on my training, experience, and participation in this investigation, as well as the timing and context of the conversation, I believe Gunn is referencing Kelly supporters, the Enterprise. Oh, Lord, y'all. R. Kelly, Robert Sylvester Kelly, indicating that he has a location within the Eastern District of New York for Kelly supporters to gather during the upcoming Kelly sentence scheduled for June 29th. I have a spot for all of us to link during the trial. And 3, declaring that he will be present in the Eastern District of New York at that time when it says, see you there. Okay, so that right there really is enough for him to know that it don't sound like this agent's really taking this serious. I think they're just really trying to They really just trying to keep this thing popping. Rob Sancho, hello, Mel in chat. No matter what, God got Kel's back. It's just a matter of time before he's home and back on top. Go on and say that then, would you? Y'all be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, replay gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. So this agent is also stating as an analysis of records from Square Inc., managers of the mobile payment application Cash App, reveals approximately 8 transactions between February 26th, 2021 and June 1st, 2022, which based on the investigation to date indicates the defendant engaged in the sale of firearm ammunition in relation to the Kelly matter? Okay. Here's what we need to know. Did somebody cash up some money and say this for the ammo? This for this, you know what I'm saying? Did somebody put that in the memo line? Because if they didn't, how y'all know that's what it was? This agent says, for example, on or about February 26, 2021, a Cash App user paid Gun $20 for, and he's got this in quote, 30 rounds on the haters. Oh, Lord. Come on now. On or about August 22nd, 2021, a Cash App user paid Gun $20 for, quote, 30 rounds. Free R. Kelly. On or about June 1st, 2022, and y'all know that wasn't too far away. On or about June 1st, 2022, a Cash App user paid Gun $15 for 30 rounds. Based on my training experience and participation in this investigation, I believe the reference to rounds to be a reference to firearm ammunition. Oh, Lord, they done try to get guns. They done try to get the man in trouble by putting those memos on the Cash App. Well, Petey, it is funny, girl. It's funny. Whew, Lord have mercy. Wherefore, the agent says, respectfully requests an arrest warrant for the defendant, Christopher Dunn, also known as Dubowski, Gun and Dubowski, so that he may be dealt with according to law. Be dealt with. Oh, that's some interesting vernacular. Let me see here. He says here, I further request the court issue an order sealing until further order of the court all papers submitted in support of this application, including the affidavit and arrest warrant. Based on my training and experience, I have learned that criminals actively search for criminal affidavits and arrest warrants via the internet. Therefore, premature disclosure of the contents of this affidavit and related documents will seriously jeopardize the investigation, including by giving the defendant an opportunity to flee or continue flight from prosecution, destroy or tamper with evidence, and change patterns of behavior. Can y'all believe it? That's a lot, y'all. Now, I'm not trying to promote nothing because I was going to do a couple screen grabs and try to, but there were too many videos, and I said, I don't, I can't sit through all this and get accuracy on here. Juicy Love said 30 rounds with boxing gloves emoji. No, not bullet emojis. Oh. So Juicy, are you saying that in those Cash App memos, or in any of the conversation that Dubowski was sending, that they used boxing emojis? Because if that's the case, I mean, why is the government being so extremely literal? I don't know what y'all think. Who in here even checks out Dubowski's channel, Dubowski Gun, as it says here in this affidavit? Anybody in here watch his channel? Anybody in here know who he is? Know who this YouTuber is? Okay. All right. Well, y'all, this is one to keep account on, because what I'd like to know is what's the penalty for what they trying to charge this man with? And will it be worth it? What is the penalty? Because we know we're talking Fed. And don't you got to do all the time? When you got Fed time, don't they make you do every day? Rob Sancho said, there's some typos in my last message, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Okay. Wait a minute, is this my man, Jason Finch? What about Rashonda Landfair? I don't know. We waiting. We gonna find out. And let's see, Trina 16. I did. He's not talking about bullets. They need to stop. I mean, the conversation just sounds, to me, it just sounds, like, okay, you want to tune into this live and see what he's talking about. I don't think the man thought that if he would get in trouble by saying this, but I want to know how did the feds get the video? Juicy Love, you said he says 30 rounds, boxing glove, all on his lives. Yes, I'm a sub on his channel. They say 5. Ooh, Juicy girl, are you Juicy? You want me to drop the link? Drop the link and drop some knowledge up in through here. Got to do 85% of the Fed time. And one thing, and I know I was in somebody's chat earlier today. It might have been, I don't know whose chat that was, but just this one little thing. How many counts are they going to try to come up with? Count 1 just for saying it. Count 2 for saying it with a emoji. You know what I'm saying? So how many counts can this? Because this right here is just the arrest request for an arrest warrant. This ain't even the whole affidavit, and it's definitely not no transcript. So what you see? Wait, hold on. Juicy said, no, I don't like talking on lives. No problem. I get you, girl. I get you. Linda said, well, I saw one day he was into it with Larry. Yeah. See, I've heard all those names going around. I know who those players are, but some of that stuff is a little deep. You got to have the whole, skinny on it to, for me to get involved, because I like to know what's being said. But I have checked out some of the other channels where they have gone into detail about these comments. I would like to know who is individual 1 in this thing, because it does say individual 1 is the person who identified. Let me find it again. Individual 1, whose identity is known to me, according to the agent, and who has known the defendant for several years, has reviewed the video and identified the male voice as the defendant. Wow. So they just came, they came already. They got a witness and everything. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's definitely one to watch. So right after they get through with Kel's sentencing, then they'll probably get right into this one. And I wonder who that judge is going to be. So this thing just growing all kind of limbs. But, I be on Check and Pacer every day, y'all, because I'm looking for the updates, trying to stay on top. We know that the last activity, everything was actually under seal. And I know yesterday on Lady D, Keep It Real with Lady D, on her YouTube channel, she had went live because she was waiting to see was Bonjean going to respond. And, at the time, it appeared as though Bonjean had missed the deadline. And when I went on Pacer again today, apparently Bonjean did miss the deadline, because actually her stuff did not get submitted until today. So, and the way Pacer updated it said submitted today, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know, y'all. This is just a lot. But Jason said Azriel Clary would be the one who said R. Kelly. Juicy Love said because one of supposedly Kelly's cousins sent in a 110-page report to the prosecutor, and allegedly Kel's mentees sent videos to Homeland Security, and there were a lot. Oh, well, it is what it is. I mean, um, what? It's crazy. So you're saying, Jason, are you saying that Azriel is individual one again? Y'all, this is crazy. So so Bonjean actually did not submit her what she was required to submit yesterday. She actually didn't submit it to until today. That's what it says in Pacer. But again, everything is redacted. But ultimately, it's my understanding is that the government doesn't feel that it should be redacted, or at least not all of it shouldn't be redacted. And the judge said that she agrees with the prosecutor. Or with the government, and so that Bonjean had until today to submit her response to that. So, it just is what it is. We're going to see. I think, to be honest with you, I think what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to wait for the appeal in this New York thing. We're just going to have to wait on that because another thing, Linda Alexander said, no, I saw they said Jennifer Bonjean sent it another day. No, so that one ruling was the day that the judge made the ruling was on June 24th. And that's on June 24th, she said, y'all have until the 26th to get me a 3-page memorandum explaining why you think all of this should be redacted. You have until the 26th to do it, I think by 5 p.m. Eastern time. And so by 5 p.m. Eastern time, yesterday, Bonjean had not submitted her memorandum. It was not in Pacer. There's no documentation of it in Pacer, and anybody that goes in Pacer, you saw that yesterday too. Today, however, it was documented in Pacer that they received information from Bonjean today. It actually says in Pacer, was not submitted yesterday. It says that in plain English. And then it further goes on to say that the judge does agree with the government as far as their argument as it relates to what and what shouldn't be redacted. And so she gave Bonjean until today to get that stuff in there. So maybe I can do a little screenshot and post that on my community page. But it's here nor there, because until they get it settled, get that part adjudicated, what will be redacted and what won't be, all we can really do at this point is guess. But when they drop the docs, then we know we'll have something for real to talk about. It won't be no guessing. Jason said Azriel Clary would be one who would talk to Richard. Oh, yeah, our line. Yep. Right, Jason. You're absolutely right. And Linda, you said they said she sent it at 4 p.m. yesterday. Well, Linda, I'm gonna do a quick little screenshot on that when we get out of here, and I'll post it on my community tab so you can see exactly what Pacer said, and then y'all can decide what's tea. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to find out who actually identified this, and then did the government have their hands tied? Did they say you better do it, or did this person volunteer it? Was it a Karen that was just rolling through the neighborhood, or was Dabowski under surveillance? Are they surveilling every YouTube video that says hashtag free R. Kelly, free Kales? I mean, that's going to be very telling. I mean, is there freedom of speech? What's tea? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you trying to say we can't talk about it? So, but we're going to find out, because this thing, this is going to go. We're going to see what's happening. So, does anybody want me to drop the link? Does anybody want to pull up and chop it up with me? Who got some details? Who saw the videos that are being discussed in this arrest warrant? Anybody know? Because I'd like to know. I really do think it was just some YouTube. Juicy said, no, it was 2 bloggers that Dabowski was into it with. Yeah, it just sounds like some regular, YouTube, sector conversation. Trish Trina 16 said, I believe they watching all channels. They probably are. They probably are. I haven't seen them. Yeah, I ain't seen them either. Jason said, what about Jocelyn? We don't know. But those questions, Jason, and I love how you go in every chat and you say the same thing. Those questions are soon to be answered. They're soon to be answered. And so is this situation with Dabowski, y'all. This is unbelievable. But you know what? I really do agree with that comment that you made. Was that Tina? Wait a minute, hold on, y'all. I came up out the comment section here. Hold on. Trina 16. I believe they are watching all the channels because if you notice, and let's see, what motion was that? I think it was either the state's motion for NDIL or what's my man's name? June's motion, where they said, oh, it was the state for NDIL, where they were like, Kel's attorney, Bonjean, should not be able to ask, well, what about this person? And how come this person? And why wouldn't the witness accused or the accuser witnesses or whatever, however they nicknamed them, they should not be able to ask, how come they're not brought up on charges, this, that, and 2/3. That's because I believe that the government on both sides, New York and Illinois, they know. Now they got a whole clear picture of the character of the individuals who have accused Kels. And if they didn't know when they pulled these charges, but they definitely should have known, because that should have been one of the very first questions in Illinois and in New York. Where were y'all parents at? You know what I'm saying? Where was y'all parents? So for them to stipulate and request that question and questions like that not even be asked, that lets me know, yeah, they know what time it is. So yeah, they probably are watching YouTube. And the people that are covering the Kels case. But it sounded to me, the little bit that I've read here, and because I did go to try to find the videos that they reference in this document, and from what I could see, it just sounded like, because one of the videos Dabowski got like a homemade bulletin board up, okay, with pictures and lines and circles. That's his methodology. That's how he's keeping track of it. So that's just how he worked. So I personally, I didn't get that. I mean, I did see some other things, but so I don't know, y'all. It's crazy. Linda said, if they're watching our channels, they should see the setup. Thank you, Linda. They should see the setup of him is real. Exactly. Which means they should have dropped some charges, but instead it sounds as though, allegedly, that this is why they're trying to tailor their argument by saying, don't ask these questions. They shouldn't be allowed to ask these questions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. PDQ said they're going to jail. Said those parents are going to jail. Juicy Love said, right? Yes, anything to put on Kels, they trying. God's plan will move all bad seeds. Free Kels. Absolutely. But I will say this, and I'm not the first to say it. I'm certain I won't be the last. But, we know, I feel like for the serious Kels supporters, we need to be representing on a higher level, if you really want to know the truth about it. We can't approach this thing hood, because in my opinion, what they want hood is the evidence that they have. That's hood evidence. You know what I mean? And they didn't mind having that. But as supporters, if we show up and we're hood with it, all of a sudden they're going to look at hood like, like, oh my God, that's wrong. That's wrong. Hurry up and get Homeland Security and get these arrest warrants together. Come on now, hurry up. So I feel like, just because if Kels has already heard about this, how do you think Kels is responding to this? Because I'm sure he knows about the tweet by now and the videos by now. So how do you think that you think that got his nerves up? Do you think he's like, damn, why can't y'all just act right for a minute? I mean, how do y'all feel like Kels feels about this? Because if it was me, I'd be like, shit, y'all, please, just please be cool till it's over with. Wait till it's over, then we can, but don't make matters worse. So I don't know. And then, does this make matters worse for Kels? Does it? Or does it keep people on their P's and Q's? So I don't know. Y'all. But I am going to say, be sure to like, share, subscribe, Replay Gang, leave a comment. Y'all, that's it. That's the podcast. All right. Wait a minute. Rob said Kels is just sitting there shaking his head like, what the is wrong with that dude? Yeah, he probably doesn't really need any extra excitement right now, just so he can have some peace. Maybe he's on a social media block on his own. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just decided that I'm just going to stay off of social media until I get to the Chi and, so on and so forth. But even when he gets to Chicago, if we out there acting a whole plum fool idiot, you know what I mean? And if the jury's not sequestered and we out there clowning, and then you got the popo up there, trying to arrest folks, and, we just, but there's always one in every bunch. Peter Q said, I believe he wouldn't be happy about this mess. Yeah, I don't see that either. Juicy Love say it could also work in his favor. Yeah, injustice. I mean, yeah. So that's why you just got to be yourself. Stand on your own 10. And if you, if that's you, do you. Always be you. So, but it's clear that the government, they're listening to something. So whether somebody made a phone call, somebody submitted it, or whether they just kick back just watching, they're clearly getting the information that they want. But it does seem a little strategic that they waited until, looks like this was processed yesterday, and the order to have it unsealed came today. So, we just keep our head up, keep believing in God. Linda said, well, he said to Sharon Winbush when she talked to him to stand down, just pray for him, right? Yeah, I did check out that Sharon Winbush video. And that's exactly what she said. And she also said that, they closed their circle. It's only a few inside that circle. Said Kels is not communicating with anyone. It's a tight circle, and rightly so. So if we can do better, y'all, let's do better. And if we can't do better, then, hope the Lord will help you. But I mean, I'm going to be honest. It just don't sound like Boski meant that stuff. It don't sound like it to me. If he did, that's, then okay. But it don't sound like it. Sound like I believe what y'all saying in the chat that, he meant he didn't mean that. He meant protesting. So maybe he'll get a good opportunity to defend himself. He might have to take it to the Supreme Court, talking about his, what is it? Our First Amendment right, freedom of speech. So who knows? And Linda said he ain't about that violence. Yeah. It just don't sound that serious to me. But I get it. I get it, government. That's what y'all did. So we'll see how that plays out. Well, that's it, y'all. That is the podcast. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, Replay Gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. And just to let y'all know, I am going to post that Pacer entry so that y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And to also let you know that I am staying on top of this Kels. I'm staying on top of this Kels case. So when the documents come up and we can get into them, trust and believe, I'm going live and we're going to talk about it. So until next time, y'all, we will see ya when we see ya. Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the Only Male Cruise. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, Replay Gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Let's go to work.